if I traded it all, if I gave
Welcome back, everyone. I'm excited about bringing on my next guest. They've never been on the air with me. I have with me Monty Flack, and he's with True Wealth Legacy. You also have someone here with you. Welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and who you have with you.
Well, thank you for having us. My name is Monty Flack. I'm a former high school teacher. Got into real estate because I couldn't make enough money living off a teacher's salary. And the gentleman who taught me how to buy real estate led me to where I'm at now, which is a life insurance agent teaching a specific concept. And one of the masters at it is the gentleman sitting next to me who I enjoy listening to. It's Dr. Dick Dykeman.
Well, hi, and welcome to the show.
Hi, Carol, and thanks again for having us. This is, by my standards, a great privilege so that we can explain something that most people really have not heard about.
Well, okay, let's talk a little bit about it. You know, you talked a little bit about yourself. What is it that you do then and that what you are trying to accomplish? Go ahead.
Well, first of all, it's teaching about how money really works and how people can be more efficient with their money. And what we'd like to accomplish is just to educate more people about this process. And it's what the rich do. It's what the banks do. And all we're doing is emulating what they're doing and just getting that word out there.
So listen up, everyone. This is going to be really interesting because a lot of us, we've been through a lot the last few years, right?
Yes,
Especially what happened not too long ago. And we've been affected by it. Now, I know that you're going to be offering for everyone. This is cool. I want one. Okay, just to let you know, I want in on one. You're offering a book, and it's Becoming Your Own Banker, and it's by R. Nelson Nash. He's a best-selling author. Talk about the book for a second, and then I'm going to open it up to the audience for people to call in and get it. Go ahead.
Well, I've actually had the privilege of listening to Mr. Nash speak here in Phoenix a couple times. The basics are right here in this book. Everything you need to know. Now, what we have done with the company we're associated with have expanded those principles to just explode everything. And Dr. Dykeman's had a lot of experience in using those principles.
Well, we're live on Facebook, so I want to wave to everybody out there that's watching us right now. Hi, like us, follow us, and do all that fun stuff. You also can call in here, for everybody that's listening, can also call in here and get all these things. I'm going to open up the lines to the audience for people because this book is something that could change people's lives by the way that they manage their money. Am I correct on that?
Yes, this is by reading this book, and I've probably read it 40 times and listened to the audio another 40, 50 times, and it's changed the way I view and money and the way I handle it.
So our lines are open here. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Everyone's getting entered in to win. Like I said, I'm in on one, okay?
Sure.
All right. So let's talk a little bit more about, how you can explain a little bit about your financing, how you finance everything you buy. How does that really work?
Well, it's very simple. We're either using the bank's money to purchase cars, houses, vacations, whatever the case may be. We're using their money. We're paying them principal and interest. Or we save up, build up a stack of money, and then go pay cash. When we do that, we give up interest that money can earn. So by stating we finance everything we buy, it's because of those principles. We're either paying interest or we're giving up interest.
Okay. What is the better thing to do? Is there a better way, or is each one individual? I got to ask,
Yes, and Dr. Dykeman's actually an expert.
Doctor, tell us what to do.
All right. So the absolutely wonderful thing about the book is that it explained that if we acquire, and anyone can acquire it as long as you're qualified for it, a participating, dividend-paying, whole life insurance policy, you can deposit money into that policy, and the interest, which is a true yield, that means that the money is compounding so that every day there's a little bit more money than there was the day before. That money will continue to compound for generations in a tax-advantaged fashion.
Well, and this book will help them understand that. when you work with them, do you do like a free consultation with people? How does it work when you're, starting to work with them?
Sure. For anybody that wants to know about this, they can contact us and make up an appointment and sit down and show them how it really works.
Well,
the whole
you're a
concept.
teacher. Okay, we all know that teachers do not get paid enough. My daughter just became one, which is awesome, but she's only
Well, bless her.
24, so she doesn't get it. But so you're a teacher, and you yourself, I'm just being flat out honest here, you couldn't make it on a teacher's salary.
I couldn't not only make it, but what scared me is when I saw what my projected retirement was going to be. That was scary. By the time that retirement was taxed, because it is deferred tax, so I'll pull it out, taxable income. Now where my money's at, I will have a better retirement if I ever decide to retire on a tax advantaged income.
Now, again, this book is called Becoming Your Own Banker. It's Unlock the Infinite Banking Concept. It's by the best-selling author R. Nelson Nash. I want one. I think everyone should have one because let me say this. I've had other people that talk about gold and these kinds of things and everything. We need to take responsibility of managing our own money. Don't you think so? We could have a bail-in come here or a bailout of whatever they call that. Really. So we've talked about those things on the air before. This is something that's very important for people to listen up and understand. The book we're offering it to everyone get entered in to win one. So our number here is 602-277-5369 and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. They do free consultations. They'll talk to you a little bit about it. That number is 928-241-0668 or call in here, get the book. I'm in on it first. The number is 602-277-5369. Okay, so I want to talk about what actually infinite banking really is.
Dr. Dykman, you want to take that one?
All right. So once we have deposited funds into our life insurance policy, that funding and the deposits that we make will continuously grow. And because of the cash value growth, which is a yield, not a rate of return, it's an actual yield. That means, again, every day the money is greater than the day before.
Love it.
We can use the cash value as collateral to borrow money from the insurance company using the policies as the collateral. And when we borrow from the insurance company, we can utilize that for all of our personal or business needs. And when we pay back the money, that means the principal and the interest to the insurance company, simply by doing that depositoring, we will increase the death benefit, the face value of the policy, and then here's the most remarkable thing about this. There is a contractual obligation of the insurance company to see to it that the cash value of the policy will equal the face value death benefit at age 120 years of age. So every time that we deposit money and the death benefit face value increases, we have increased the availability of more cash value in our policies and therefore a greater ability to borrow more money. So what that means is that every time we have borrowed and paid back, we actually end up with more money in the process on the policy.
Question asked you, when you borrow,
yes?
It sounds like you're borrowing from yourself. I'm not sure if I'm correct or not. But if I can understand it, that means you guys can.
It's from your own process. That's
okay.
correct.
If you are doing that, are there penalties involved?
No.
That's what I want to know. That's what they want to know.
Absolutely none.
Absolutely none. And what's interesting is because your money is uninterrupted, compounding, true compounding, and it's contractual at 4%, I have to understand money. I can borrow money at a higher rate than I'm earning and still make money. But most people don't do that, understand that. And I'll give you an example. Let's say you're going to buy a car and you have $25,000 sitting in the bank, and I'm your local banker, and you're going to come down and pull out that $25,000 and go pay cash. Why? Because you've been taught not to pay interest to somebody else. And I overhear you and I say, leave your money here. I'm going to give you 4% compounding interest. I'm going to lend you $25,000, go pay cash for that car at 6%. Now let's amortize this or pay it out for for 5 years. In that time, I will pay you more interest at 4% than you pay me back at 6%. Most people hear that, and just because of the difference in numbers, 6 is higher than 4, you're a liar. It's true. 4% because it's compounding, uninterrupted. It gets bigger and bigger, money on top of money. Whereas on the 6%, it's on a declining basis. Therefore, you pay less interest each year.
Now, we're going to be going to a break. When we come back, we want to talk further. Doctor, this is your expertise. This is something that you do. You were also orthodontics, but really, this is something that you've been doing for a long time and have become an expert at it. And that's why you're here to educate people. And of course, it's the first time that you're hearing them, so there's a lot that we want to know. Get the book. Get in on the book. It's everyone's getting entered in to win. It's Becoming Your Own Banker. It's Unlock the Infinite Banking Concept by best-selling author R. Nelson Nash. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll-free it's 1-866-536-1100. Welcome back, everyone. So we are talking with Monty Flack, and he has with him Dr. Dick Dykeman, and we have our lines open here. And, this is something very new. It's out of the box. It's thinking, but it's really important for people to understand. That's why I love my show so much, because people get to hear things that they may not know about. And they do free consultations. You can obviously call them direct. That number to call them is 241-0668. But we've got our lines open here. Start off with getting this book. We need to take control of how we manage our money and how we're doing things. And if you know what has happened in the past, which we all know, we've all been through it, some of us more than once,
Yes.
then we know that we need to take care of it. So, this book that we have everybody entered into, and it's called Becoming Your Own Banker. It's Unlock the Infinite Banking Concept, and it's by best-selling author R. Nelson Nash. We've got our lines open here, and I'm going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show for it. I said I want in on one just because I know how important it is to save money, but also to manage it and understand how to grow it at the same time.
Yes. If you look at things this way, there's 3 economies. There's the world economy that we live in. There's your economy, and there's my economy. The only one that I can control is mine. And that's by controlling my finances, having complete access and control of the growth and the use of my money.
I like to say I'm my own financial advisor. And you guys better be. People out there, you better be. Listen up, because this is something that's new that you can maybe, that might help you very well. So again, we've got our lines open here. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. And doctor, you're the educator of this. You've been doing this for a long time. You're educating people out there, and you're using the show to kind of talk to them about this. So why do you use dividend? Did I say that right?
Yes.
Paying whole life insurance to accomplish your financial needs. How does that work in the first place?
Well, the first reason that's a very logical reason to use it is because all of the commercial banks own tremendous amounts of dividend-paying, participating whole life insurance. In fact, we'll just use one example. Wells Fargo has over $20 billion, that's with a B, of ownership of these type of life insurance policies. So if banks are buying these policies, then it makes sense for us to do it.
Talking to the mic. Go ahead.
And one of the reasons why Monty and I now utilize these insurance policies is because now with these insurance policies, we are both the saver, we are also the borrower, we are also the banker, and we're also the bank owner because we own the policy. So in effect, the policies are our personal banks. And as the policies grow in a completely tax-deferred and protected fashion, and by the way, all of these policies are also creditor-proof in the state of Arizona. As those policies grow, we are first in line to be able to borrow money from the insurance company using the policies as collateral for the loans. And as we borrow the money, if we use it correctly with guidance, and that's my role and that's Monty's role, we can actually stop the transfer of the money out of our lives from our earned income and reverse that and have the money come back into our lives. And the reason is, in Monty's life and in my life now, once we have deposited money into the policies, and we borrow and pay back with the insurance company, essentially the money never leaves our control because our policies are growing every time we have a banking function using the policy.
So when you buy into it in the beginning, as it a big, how do you? Do you have to put in a lot of money?
No.
Usually, people think about financial stuff as you have to have a lot of money to do it.
What's great about this is you can start wherever you're at. My first policy was a very small one. When I learned this, I transferred what was going into a 403B. I canceled that and redirected it into a policy. That got me going. From there, I learned more, took more control of my money, got another policy, and from there it kind of snowballed.
And it's infinite policies?
No, there is some limitation
There is
to
some
the number of policies that a given family can acquire, but the term infinite is because you can utilize the money that you borrow from the insurance company without any consideration. You can use it for any infinite consideration. You can buy boats, you can buy a vacation, you can buy a wedding, you can buy cars, you can buy an airplane, you can do whatever you want. The insurance company does not care. They are lending you money from the insurance company using the cash value and the policy as collateral. So if something were to happen to you the very next day after you've borrowed money, then that loan amount and the interest that is due would be subtracted from the death benefit. But what's unique about this particular life insurance is that there's death benefit and there is cash. And the cash makes it possible for Monty and I and anyone who starts this to be a banker using our banks, which are our policies.
Not one time when I use my policy as collateral and I borrow from the life insurance company, not one time have they asked me what's it for. I didn't have to go through a financial proctology exam, anything. I just call, request a loan against my policy. I get the money. In fact, today I just checked. It hit my account today. So
Nice.
It was that easy. And what's so powerful about this, especially driving here in the valley, how many cars are on the road? Especially by the time we leave here, it's going to be rush hour.
We like that.
If by just doing what Dr. Dykman said, borrow from yourself, pay yourself back, if you could get back principal and interest, all of it, from every vehicle you buy from here on out, is it worth it just to look into it then? And it's possible. It's very possible.
I think that people need to understand it, more than anything, because it's so new. It is like you said, this is out of the box.
Well, the concept's been around for a long time, but it just hadn't been taught. And in some of the research I've done, it was actually taught up until 1913 when everything kind of changed in the financial world. But it was taught in schools, this concept. From then on, it hasn't been taught. And if you actually look around and do some research, Dr. Dykman mentioned that conventional banks are the largest purchasers of dividend-paying whole life insurance in the world. And each year they're increasing their premium. I think the last I heard was by 200%. So that's a huge amount. They have their own acronym, BOLI, B-O-L-I, Bank-Owned Life Insurance. And if you Google some other people, we have a senator in this state who actually used his policy to fund one of his campaigns. So it's out there. It's just not common.
Now, again, we've got our lines open here, and I'm going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show for it. It's Becoming Your Own Banker. Unlock the Infinite Banking Concept by best-selling author R. Nelson Nash. Our lines are open here. I'm going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll-free it's 1-866-536-1100. Really interesting. I think that everyone has to understand that you need to take control. I don't even know if people really want to have their money in banks anymore anyway, So that's another thing that we can talk about.
That's a whole other issue because now you're getting into fractional banking. So, yeah.
It is. So, again, we've got our lines open here. They do free consultations. You can call them direct if you want. That's 928-241-0000. 0668. But call in here. I'm going to get you connected with them. I'm going to get everybody entered in to win one of these books. And like I say, I want one. I can't wait to read because I know it is so important to actually, take control of your own money and know where you're going to be and learn how to grow it. Instead, it's not going to grow in the banks. It just doesn't anymore.
No.
So again, our number here is 602-277-5369 and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Real quickly, we're going to leave with what kind of strategies do you use?
Oh,
Well,
you want me to take that, Monty? You go ahead.
Dr. Dykman utilizes more because he's got his business. But a couple of the ones I have used is just debt recovery, pay off debt a lot quicker because of the way we utilize it. And I have used it for one of my real estate deals, which was fascinating because made more money off of doing that. And Dr. Dykman, because of Dr. Dykman and what he does, we've learned more about how to utilize it.
Finish off.
So in a business sense, it's entirely possible to have overhead for any kind of a business. And instead of using the earned income of the business for paying for the overhead, it makes a lot more sense to borrow from the insurance company and then use the earned income of the business to pay back to the insurance company. And by doing that, the money never leaves the process.
And on top of it, it makes more money.
It makes more money.
Yes.
That sounds awesome. I'm in. Okay, our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. I'm going to let everyone keep on calling throughout the rest of the show and get entered in to win. It's Becoming Your Own Banker. Unlock the Infinite Banking Concepts by best-selling author R. Nelson Nash. Our number here is 602-277-5369.